Today we'll learn a bit about uh, spacesuit of Apollo eras. These spacesuits are not just a piece of clothing; they are much, much more than that. So typically in a spacesuit, you have multiple parts which functions for different reasons. So why astronauts need space suit? So there are multitude of reasons. One is space is absolute vacuum. There is no air, and after that, there the temperature in the space can go as low as 250 degrees Celsius to as high as 2000 degrees Celsius. So the temperature conditions are also very high. The third reason is there is lot of radiation in the space. The source of this radiation is our um, home star, the sun. So what happens is the sun continuously emit UV and other type of high frequency radiation which get trapped to the earth magnetic field. Now this magnetic field, a layer around earth is created which is termed as Van Allen belt. This radiation belt is very dangerous to the to human body. After this, we have micrometeorites. Now, micrometeoroids are very small, very tiny pieces of rocks or metals which constantly bombarded on the surface of the moon. They are 4 to 5 times thicker than the human hair. As you can see here, um, there are some penetration of this fabric. This is actually the outermost layer of the spacesuit worn by one of the astronauts who landed on the surface of the moon. So this is you can see how they can puncture um, the spacesuits. Now to protect the astronaut uh, from these hazards, the clothing is typically designed in multi-layer. So you can see there are about 7 to 8 layers. At the deepest most layer is called underwear, which is basically to absorb sweat. After that, there come comfort layer, which is basically to provide comfort to human body for long duration wearing. Then comes pressure bladder. This layer is airtight layer, right? So it's made up of usually rubber or polyurethane. It captures the air pressure required for the human body to function properly. After that, there comes restraint layer, which is in the shape of mesh or woven fabric. This maintain the shape of the pressures and the spacesuit. Then comes the bumper layers, which is called HT1. This absorb impacts from micrometeoroids and debris. This is the second line of defense. Then comes aluminized thermal layer. It prevents overheat from solar radiation. So because of the extreme reflective properties of aluminum, this helps in reflecting most of the sun radiation that strikes on the spacesuit. So it helps in uh, cooling the spacesuit. Then comes felt layer. This reduces heat loss to the cold of space. It is basically an insulation layer. So it traps the heat generated by the human body and helps in preventing the heat loss to the cold of space. Then comes outer layer. It is the first line of defense. It is a very durable fabric. It's made up of nylon and it's called beta cloth. It's very tough. So here, as we have seen earlier, these punctures are in basically the beta layer, the outermost layer of the spacesuit. So beside the layering protection of the spacesuit has one of the most important constituents, which is called PLSS. it is basically the life support system for the astronaut. So if we can zoom on this, we can see the inner parts of this PLSS, but there are multiple components like sublimator, vent flow sensor, feed water reservoir, primary oxygen tank to give oxygen to the astronaut, then terminal board, connector, oxygen refill connector, pump motor assembly to pump the fluid and oxygen, right? Pump the cooling fluid throughout the spacesuit to cool down the astronaut, pressure garment assembly to give adequate pressure around the body of the astronauts. Otherwise, if we don't give pressure to the outside of the human body, blood pressure will rise to such level that it can literally bleed. Then we have fan motor assembly, terminal board, etc. So this is how the spacesuit of a typical spacesuit of astronaut works.